Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. Welcome back to my channel, my lovelies. If you've never been here before, thank you so much for clicking on my video. I am so happy you found me. I do so hope that you will like and subscribe before you leave. Become part of the mama family. Mama's got your back, at least where makeup's concerned, and definitely when that makeup is cheap. Today is New Makeup Monday. We are playing with Profusion today. It is, oh, I'm so excited. So I picked up these palettes last week. If you guys didn't check out the Profusion clearance sale haul, definitely go check out that video. It was so much fun. Picked up so many really amazing, incredibly affordable products. And we're going to be playing with a couple of them in today's video. So we're going to use the Nightshade palette. This one is just a really gorgeous blue 6-pan palette, and then we're also playing with the Devine palette, and this one is green and purple, and it is like double toil and trouble witchy brew, just yumminess. So both of these palettes are from the Profusion Halloween release from last year, and they're just super cute. Packaging is so nice. Really great quality eyeshadow palette. Now, I did try to film this video already once before and just got super tongue-tied, so hopefully this time sticks. But we're playing with both of these palettes. We're also going to be playing with one of the Profusion Neon Liquid Liners. This is the blue one. Guys, these are so fantastic. My absolute favorite liquid liners from the drugstore. They're just good. They're just easy to use. They're easy to control. I love the packaging. They look super adorable. The color is fantastic, beautifully pigmented. They have a super precise brush tip applicator, so they're really easy to work with. I enjoy these very much. We are going to be doing this super pretty eye look. It is very much a winter's night sky, very frosty and gorgeous. And we're just gonna talk and kind of chit chat and explore some new makeup. So I already have just a little bit of this eye look done. I went in first with my Believe Beauty eyeshadow primer. It's my very favorite, $5 at Dollar General. So good. And then I went into the Nightshade palette first, and I went in with this really gorgeous deep blue right here, and I just took that on an eyeshadow brush, like a flat fluffy eyeshadow brush, and I just made sure to pack that along the lower transition portion of my eye. I then went in to the Devine palette, and I used this really gorgeous deep matte purple on pretty much the same kind of brush, just a little bit smaller, and packed that right onto the inner portion of my transition area. And the thing about these is you really need to make sure that you're doing your eye makeup first. There is quite a bit of fallout with them, and they do like to kind of transfer until they're set down. So just be aware of that. If you have hooded eyes, you're going to have to set these with like a setting spray or something like that, or they are going to transfer on you. But they're really great quality. So I took the blue on the outer portion and the purple on the inner portion. The only problem I'm finding with these eyeshadow palettes is that they're a little bit muddy. And they're beautifully pigmented. They blend relatively easily. It's just the fact that they kind of blend a little bit too easily because they get muddy. They just kind of, there's no clear differentiation between that blue and the purple. Everything just kind of morphs together. And it could just be that the blue and the purple are too close in saturation and like color value, that they just don't work well together. And that could very well be my fault. But that's just what I'm noticing. I then went into the Nightshade palette, and I went into this gorgeous kind of grungy teal color. And I used that on a teeny tiny fluffy blender. And I just kind of very gently took this beautiful teal color and used that to kind of diffuse this upper edge of eyeshadow. Kind of blend it out and up just a little bit, just so that line doesn't look quite so stark. And that's where we're at. We're going to go in and we're going to do a little bit of a cut crease action, and then we're going to use some of the shimmers in this palette. Now, I will say that the shimmers are pretty, but they're not what I'm used to from Profusion. Usually when I use a Profusion shimmer, it just kind of blows me out of the water. It blows me away a little bit. Profusion shimmers are usually incredibly metallic and just gorgeous and pigmented. And the shimmers in these palettes seem to be a little bit sheer and a little bit chunky. I'm used to the Profusion shimmers being a little bit more putty-like. If you look at the shimmers in the, I want to say the Moonstone palette, some of the bigger palettes, they almost have this putty-like texture. And though I really like that these ones are a little bit drier, because I feel like those ones can kind of crease on my hooded eyes a little bit. These ones, I just wish that they had just a little bit more pigment. I'm going to take my Milani Conceal&Perfect concealer. I'm going to take just a little bit of it on the back of my hand, and I'm going to go in with my Dew Color 05. It is just a very flat, very stiff packing brush, and I'm going to make sure to focus most of that concealer right at the very tip of my brush, and I'm going to look down. I'm going to get my hand mirror, and I'm going to look down into my mirror and start to tap this concealer into place. I'm going to follow the natural line, the natural curve of my eye. And if you're anything like me and have very like unsymmetrical, my eyes are not symmetrical at all, it's okay. We're just trying to make them look as close as possible. Perfection does not exist, so we're not trying to chase perfection. We just want them to look as similar as we can make them. We at least want them to look like they belong to the same family. You know what I'm saying? So today is Saturday for me. I am filming. I'm trying to pre-film just a little bit. Next week is going to be super, super busy. We're expecting a little bit of snow either tonight or tomorrow. So I'm super excited about that. Sean has been coming off of a 5-day weekend. So I'm about at my wit's end, and I know come Monday, I'm just going to need to lay on the couch and like regroup a little bit, because y'all, I love that child. I love him with every fiber of my being. But the last couple of days, he's just been completely and totally up my hiney. And mama needs a break. Mama needs a break. And you know what? I'm not above admitting it. I need a break. I need a break. Ooh, I made filet for dinner tonight. There was filet mignon on sale at Ingles when Mr. Hubby went to the grocery store Friday. So I decided I would make it for Saturday dinner. And y'all, it was so good. But my stove broke, and I'm so upset. I need to get to Walmart like as soon as possible. The eye on my stove just kind of like it combusted, right? The day before, it had shocked me. It had electrocuted me. And I was stirring, I think I was making pasta or something. And I was using a metal spoon and touched the bottom of the pot. I got electrocuted. I was like, what was that? Had no idea. So the next day, I went to boil some water to make some sweet tea. Lo and behold, this thing freaking bursts into fire. And I was like, well, we know that, that's not going to work anymore. So I have to go to Walmart and try to figure out how to replace the eye on my stove. You know what? It's so old. It's probably time to just replace it. But I have never bought a stove before. And I'm assuming that they're pretty expensive. So I might have to save up for it. I was also thinking about checking out Facebook yard sale and seeing if they had anything on there that I might be able to afford. But you never know with people. You never know if people are going to try to sell you something that's broken or things like that. So it's just an iffy kind of situation across the board. So I've done the cut crease, super, super standard shape. I just kind of stuck to the natural shape of my eye, kind of flicked it up and winged it out just a little bit on the outer corner. I'm going to go in with a little bit of shimmer. Now we're going to go into the Nightshade palette, and I want to take this really gorgeous kind of silver here. Now, I do want to swatch it for you because it looks really, really pretty. It is very, very dry though, and a little bit flaky. Chunky monkey, but super, super pretty. I'm going to take that on a flat packing brush, and I'm just going to get, it picks up beautifully on the brush, but like I said, there is quite a bit of fallout there. So I'm just going to start at the outer corner of my eye and start packing this onto the concealer. And it looks so dark in the swatch, but the minute you kind of start blending it out a little bit, it gets very, very light and very, very sheer. So just be aware of that. This is not going to give you a bunch of depth if that's what you're looking for. But the shimmer is very pretty. I would say it's more of a satin than it is a metallic. It's got just a little bit of a very slight sheen to it, but nothing I would say that is incredibly, what is the word I'm looking for? It's not intense. It's not a very intense shimmer at all. But if you like a really beautiful kind of satiny moment, it is beautiful on the lid. Also, it's not emphasizing much of my texture. It's not emphasizing any of my eyelid wrinkles. So that is very, very nice. I'm going to take this same brush. I'm going to wipe it off on my towel down here. And we're going to go into the Devine palette. And I want to use this one right here. And this one was a little bit disappointing. So it looks really, really beautiful on the swatch. Yeah, that's just glue under my nails. I was making sure they weren't dirty. So it looks really beautiful on the swatch. But then again, the minute you kind of blend it out, it gets super, super sheer. And it just has just a little bit of that metallic quality to it, but it is much more satiny than anything else. So I'm going to get quite a bit of it on my brush, and I'm going to use this on the center. And really what I'm looking for is just a little bit of green iridescence. I want just a little bit of a pop of color. I was kind of shooting for like the Northern Lights kind of thing. That was the inspiration for today's look. I was going for something very like Aurora Borealis, very light lit up night sky kind of thing. And I know that the Northern Lights have quite a bit of green in them. So I'm just taking this and really packing it onto the center of the lid. And it does look really, really pretty, but it is very, very sheer and very, very, I'm trying so hard not to be mean. It's just not quite as intense as I wish that it would be, but it does look very pretty. We're going to take the same brush. We're going to go back in to the Nightshade palette, and we're going to use the lightest. This one right here, and this one is absolutely incredible. Really, really beautiful. This one has almost like a duochromatic effect to it. It has a really beautiful kind of blue flip to it, which is absolutely stunning. It's not going to show up on my camera as much as I want it to, but this is a really, really beautiful, beautiful shade. Can you guys see a little bit of that blue flip? So, so pretty. We're going to take that on the same brush, and we're going to pack this on the inner portion of the eye. And it is so pretty. This white shimmer is probably my favorite shimmer out of both of the palettes. It is the most unique and most impressive looking one. Super, super pretty. All in all, I really think, y'all, I don't think either one of these palettes is anything super, super special. And I hate to say that about a Profusion palette because you guys know how much I really, really do love the brand. Even this blue, like this really pretty, like baby blue shimmer, they just go on and they're just super, super sheer. There's really no oomph behind any of them. I was really trying to pack it onto my eyelid, and it just wasn't doing what I'm used to Profusion shimmers doing. And I don't know if, like I said, they changed the formulas, or if the way that they're pressed has something to do with it, but even after they just kind of sit on the eye a little bit, they end up just kind of morphing into each other. Any kind of iridescence or specialness to any of the shadows, it's just kind of, it feels like it fades away, and it all just ends up being this really kind of dull gray color. And it is so sad, because usually the Profusion formula is like 10 out of 10. I just don't know what changed with this palette. We're going to go into one of the liners now. This is the Neon Liquid Liner in the shade Blue. And I'm going to take this along my upper lash line. And these are so good. Super easy to use. Super easy to get a really beautiful, precise line with. So good. And then I'm going to do just a teeny tiny little wing at the outer edge. Nothing big. Just like that. And then I also want to trace this upper edge of the cut crease. And I think what ends up happening when we trace it is it brings just a little bit of extra dimension to the look. It brings just a little bit of a pop of color to the look as well, because I feel like everything starts to look just a little bit deep and just a little bit dark. So I'm going to look down into my mirror, and I'm going to start at the inner corner. And just run this along the edge of that cut crease. And I don't want to take it all the way out to the edge of the wing. So I'm just going to kind of fade it just a little bit. Just like that. And it makes the biggest difference. It kind of gives a little bit more definition. It brings a little bit of a pop of color to the whole thing, and gives us just a little bit of something to kind of brighten and break all that darkness up with. I think it is very pretty. I'm going to fan it just a little bit with my fan because my eyes are super hooded. And if I open my eye right now, it's just going to go everywhere. Thankfully, these liquid liners dry super fast, so it won't take super long. But how pretty is that? It was super easy to do as well. We're going to go in with a little bit of glitter now. This is the Hard Candy Moondust glitter palette. We're going to go in with this gorgeous silver glitter. Just to bring a little bit of something extra to the lid, I just kind of want to pack this right onto the center. Just taking a little bit because I don't want to overpower the shadows, but those shimmer shades are just a little bit lackluster, and I felt like I needed a little bit of something extra to really bring home that kind of starry night sky, northern lights kind of thing, and I think the glitter does that beautifully. Just like that. We're going to take a Q-tip and clean it up just a little bit now. As always, I will have everything that I used for today's eye look listed in the description box, but I just feel like this one was a little bit of a letdown. I'm going to go in with my e.l.f. No Budge liner, and I'm going to line my lower lash line. Again, you don't have to do this. I like to do it though. I like the way that it contrasts against my blue eyes, and I like the way that it gives everything just a little bit of definition. Just bring that along the inner waterline. And then I'm going to take one of my very favorite liners. This is the LA Colors Neon Gel Liner in the shade Swell. And I'm going to take this right along the lash line. I don't want to do a super thick line, but just enough so that you can see it, and so that it kind of ties in to that brighter blue we have going on the lid. And then I'm going to take this is my e.l.f. shader brush, smudge brush. So it's just an e.l.f. very thin, short, stiff, kind of flat brush. And I'm going to take this and kind of smudge a little bit of that eyeliner, and then we'll go back into the Nightshade and we'll go into that gorgeous kind of teal color, and we'll use this to set the eyeliner. Taking just a little bit of this just to set it just enough so that it doesn't really move or budge, just kind of lock it down a little bit, and also helps to brighten that liner just a little bit. Looks super, super pretty. Just like that. Now is my very, very favorite part of the entire process. We're going to take some eye makeup remover on a Q-tip, and we're going to clean up our wing. I'm going to start at the corner of my eye and following the line of my lower lash line, bring that up and clean up that edge. I like to do this after I do my wing, so that way I can clean up the wing and the shadow at the same time. Clean up any fallout that I've got going on. And voila, it looks so sharp. It looks so finished and tidy. Now we get to put a little bit of a highlight on. And I want to go into the Nightshade palette. Do I want to use the Nightshade or do I want to use Devine? Let's go into Nightshade. I think out of the two color stories, I really, really like Nightshade the most. Even though the shimmers in here are nothing spectacular, I think the mattes are really pretty, and I think this white shimmer is absolutely gorgeous. I think this is a really useful shade as well. I want to go in to that really pretty kind of like bluey iridescent shade though, and take a little bit of this blue one as well, and we'll put that right up here, just a little bit, and then put a little bit of it right here on the inner corner. It is very, very pretty. It is a very, very pretty palette. I think how much did I pay for it? I think I paid, what, $3? I don't exactly remember, but I know I didn't pay very much more than $5. I think it was like maybe $5.25 I paid for these palettes. Either way, I think they're definitely worth the $5, but I think they were closer to $10 at full price, and I definitely wouldn't have paid full price for either one of these palettes. There's something about the way that these shadows are pressed that is just not doing it for me. It is not the standard Profusion quality that I'm used to. And though I was able to get this look done really, really quickly, I still think that if you are more of a beginner when it comes to makeup, or if deep, dark colors kind of scare you, definitely stay away from them. But if you enjoy a really gorgeous, deep, kind of murky moment, I think that these are great. If you don't mind putting a little bit of extra TLC into your eyeshadow, I think that these are great. Definitely at a sale price, though. I'm very, very glad that I didn't go out and splurge, pay full price for these. I think that inner corner highlight isn't doing quite enough for me. So I want to go into my Jeffree Star Cosmetics Ice Crusher palette, and I want to take this really gorgeous blue highlight. I'm just going to take that on the same brush that I used before, and I'm going to put a little bit of this. There we go. That's what I was looking for. I really want that bright pop of icy blue on the inner corner. I picked this palette up on sale as well. I only paid $13 for this palette, and I think it's closer to like a $50 highlight palette, so super win there. But they are super pigmented and so punchy. Guys, that's really all I have to say about this stuff. I think out of the entire order that I placed, these two palettes are the only ones that I'm not super impressed with. I do just wish that the shimmers in here were just a little bit better. This one is, I don't know if it's a matte or if it's a shimmer. It's really beautiful and deep and pigmented. It has a little bit of that more satiny kind of sheen to it. But this green one, that kind of iridescent green. It looks so pretty in the swatch, but it looks so pretty on the finger, but the minute you try to kind of lay it down, it gets so sheer. It doesn't really have any of a reflect to it. It's really just kind of a letdown. And I've never really been this unimpressed with a Profusion palette before. So I don't know what's going on. I don't know if Profusion is trying to cut corners or what they're doing, but they need to stop it, because this is no. Guys, I love you so very much. I'm going to finish my face. I'm going to throw a little bit of mascara on, put some makeup on, and then I will, of course, post finished pictures over on Instagram and Facebook. If you guys are not following me on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, all that good stuff, why not? I post fun content every single day, and if you're following me everywhere, you don't have to worry about missing a single moment of it. As always, no filters, no edits, no fancy lighting. It's just me sitting here playing with some new makeup, hoping you guys are enjoying what I'm doing. And as always, everything will be listed in the description box. Guys, I love you so very much. Until next time, stay safe, take care of yourselves, and remember, you're important. Bye.